How's it going, everybody? My name is Joey Galvez. Welcome to another Explain Yourself. Today, we don't have Ben because he's traveling, and we kind of give him a little bit of the day off. But we're going to talk to you guys a little bit about some really cool stuff. We have our friend JL Draco from Oneshi Press. I'm going to bring him in. We're going to talk to him about Side Quest that is live right now. JL, please introduce yourself and Side Quest and tell everybody a little bit about Oneshi Press.
Hey guys, I'm JL Draco. I am the lead designer, illustrator, and co-founder of Oneshi Press, an independent publishing company that focuses mostly on comics, but we do a little bit of prose. And, we got a hard focus on progressive community, inclusion, diversity, and Side Quests, I think, represents all of that. And Side Quests is our 14th comics anthology. We are doing them annually. And it's a big, chunky book. It's got 28-page stories by 36 diverse creators from around the world, all different walks of life. And with that, you get a really, really nice, well-rounded mix of styles, both in writing as well as illustration. And, obviously that's what we love about comics, right? Is the marriage between visuals and narrative. And when we can mix it up so well and keep it centered to a theme and centered to, a sensibility of curation, I think that that's really freaking cool, and I'm really proud of this
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, this is an anthology. You guys have how many? Which one is this for you? You guys, because you guys do a
Yeah,
handful
this is
of
14.
anthologies.
Our 14th
14.
anthology, our
Woo!
22nd Kickstarter, and like our 30th or 40th
Oh wow,
publication.
yeah, wow, that man. So okay, so you guys been around the block a little bit.
Yeah, we've done it, a few times.
All right, so this is fantastic because we've talked a little bit about tons of stuff before. We've known each other for a long time, but
Long time.
we may have some new watchers out there and listeners out there. So tell them a little bit about what you guys do over at Oneshi Press, and just kind of give them a little bit of the Oneshi Press background.
Sure. Yeah, I think some important and informative background is that when Lindsay and I, first started working on this, like, I don't know, 12 years ago. She was a writer and I'm an illustrator, and we both had comic ideas. And she needed an illustrator for her comic, and I needed a writer for mine. So we joined up. We made some samples and synopses and pitches, and we shopped our comics around everywhere.
Hmm.
Everywhere we heard about, we sent them. Most places don't write back. The places that did, most of the responses that we got were, hey, we already have our thing, or like they have their aesthetic, their style, what they're trying to produce.
Yeah.
And unless you're specifically tailoring your work for them, you're not it, you know?
Yeah.
Um, a few places, like with Tracy Queen, they were like, wow, we love this. We absolutely love this, but we can't take it for marketing reasons. It doesn't fit on our smut shelves because it's not dirty enough, but it doesn't fit on our like R-rated shelves because it's too dirty. And like, what do we
Yeah.
do? You're just between the cracks of what we're selling. And
No pun intended.
you know, everything that we do is super nuanced. And I intend my puns, damn it. I am not a coward. Everything we do is super nuanced, and that is what I think a reader loves. But what I think a publisher, especially a smaller publisher or like super mainstream publisher, might shy away from, is the uniqueness, the nuance, unless you've already made it. So our plan was to
I feel like
create an
that's
issue
so true.
press.
I feel like that's so like you hit the nail on the head there.
Yeah,
Like a lot of publishers out there don't like the nuance. Like they don't like stepping outside of the box. They want to
it's
be they want
uncomfortable.
they want to keep everything the same because they know it works and they know what's going to sell. Sometimes you got to step outside and see what works, what's brand new things that works, right?
Right.
That there's a reason why we have new products or new variations of different things or new takes on things, right? That's
Sure.
the,
I mean, there's
just
no innovation without
right.
nuance and
Kickstarter.
experimentation.
I feel like Kickstarter is on the forefront of innovation right now because if you
It,
look at it
oh yeah,
outside of just the comic book world, there's all kinds of cool stuff. Like the other day, I was like, I wish I had this really cool idea of like having this microphone like to do like portable stuff and portable interviews, right?
sure.
All you got to do is type
I
in
mean, they
stuff
make
like
them,
that
sure.
on Kickstarter, and they have things because there's people like us who are like, I need this, I want to make it
Right,
better, and they put it on
right.
Kickstarter.
And I mean, so much of this, the makers market innovations would not be possible without Kickstarter.
Right.
It just wouldn't. And so many other companies have tried to do what Kickstarter's doing, and they just don't. They're not doing it as well, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Kickstarter really is the just bridge for indie creators to an audience, to a market. And so thinking about that, what Lindsay and I did with Oneshi Press was we created the company that we wished we could have found out in the wild. You know, we
Yeah.
couldn't find it, so we built it. And since we built it, we were like, well, now we have this awesome company for ourselves. But there's a lot of other people out there like us who are unique, weird waywards with their heart on their sleeves who want to share their best with the world and don't fit in, mainstream publishing molds. And that's what we're here for. And that's what these anthologies are. The anthologies are us collecting all those waywards and saying, here, tell your stories. They matter, you
Yeah.
know?
I love that because I think we were a little inspired when because we were a podcast network before, right? Gate Collective, we did all the
Sure.
podcasts and stuff. And when we started partnering with you and talking to you a little bit about how the things that how you built out your business and exactly what you're saying, I said, I love that. I kind of want to steal that or adopt it. And you're like, no, we need more of this. We need more of these kind of like these co-op businesses out there
Yeah.
that think like this, right? So when I was trying to build out this thing, I kind of followed your guys's kind of way you do your thing, which is like giving back and creating something that I wanted or needed, right? And when I was looking for ways to create or different places, and I was like, well, I wish there was a place for like a one-stop shop for like comic book content creators, writers, artists, illustrators, everything you need if you had like a concept of a comic book, and then to get it to push it out, and then to get it eventually to on the shelf of somebody who loves it, right? And when we did that, I was like, you know what? I can't find anything like that. Well, why not just make it my own, right? And I
Mhm.
love that thought process, right? So let's talk a little bit about why you guys went into and created side quests or created these opportunities for these anthologies. And not only because it's an anthology, you guys give people opportunities where they may not have been able to put it anywhere else and then still get it printed, and so that they're able to put it on their table and take it to trade shows and stuff. So talk a little bit about that kind of idea and why you guys wanted to create something like that.
So I think, in modern mainstream media, we have a real big problem with oligarchy and gatekeeping. And what we have is stories that really can only be made by filthy rich people or people that are doing whatever they're told by filthy rich investors.
Mm-hmm.
And stories affect and shape mass psychology. They change the heart of society. They actually do more for what society will become than probably anything else you can name.
Hmm.
So, in that, when stories are only being created by the powerful, we're going to inherently have stories that are degrading the soul of our society.
Yeah.
And when we find ways through back doors, co-op models, crowdfunding, whatever you can do, borrowing, maxing out a credit card, whatever it freaking takes, you know,
just
living
make
on
sure it
ramen.
paid off.
You know
just
what
don't
I
go,
mean? Like
just don't
living
go
on
into
ramen.
debt. Just don't go into debt. Because
Whatever we can do to make sure that real people who have real lived experience and real hardship and know what it is to be marginalized or oppressed, to
yeah,
make sure that their stories are told.
there's
You
a
know,
statistic.
that's the purpose.
There's a statistic out there that I just recently heard within the last week or two where and may have been you that I heard it from where um people of low income families or those who are less fortunate are most of the times they are the most creative and the most innovative because they are always they're number one comfortable of being outside of the box because they get
Necessity.
outside of the box because
Also, you have to be creative to live
that's
outside of the
where
box, right?
you live outside of the box because
Yeah,
you're always trying to figure out how to squeeze a penny out of a dime, right? So or a dime out of a penny. So
right.
so it's we live in that space, right? So especially the marginalized peoples out there, right? So I love that these stories are so innovative. So let's talk a little bit about. I'm going to pull this up and we're going to talk a little bit about side quests here. So as I pull this up, please talk about what you guys got going on here and what people can see and what's offered inside.
So first of all, as most Kickstarters do, we have this video at the beginning. It's a short video, 2.5 minutes. I know that's a long 2.5 minutes, but a big chunk of it is the bloopers at the end, which we always have on
Yeah.
all of our videos. And you know what? That keeps people anchored. It keeps our watch rates high. It's worth it. Check out the video.
Yeah,
That'll explain the project and who we are. But then,
I suggest you guys check out the video. They
yeah,
do such a good job with their videos where they
we
listen.
have a lot of
They
fun.
they write scripts for them. They memorize them, and they get in front of the camera. They even dress up sometimes. So listen, the like they are going above and beyond for you guys to enjoy this stuff and create like this kind of new space for it. So
And
it's a pleasure to watch those things.
in this, for like one of our anthologies, it's going above and beyond for all of the people that we're publishing in
Mm.
this anthology. So that's the extra fuel there. There's 36 different creators we have on board. Each one of them deserves my best. So the
Yeah.
collective of all of them definitely deserves more than my best, far more than I can give. So I'm going to give at least as much as I can. What we
Love it.
have here on the screen that you're just scrolled past, that's the cover. This is my first time illustrating an anthology cover since the first anthology. And the reason is I like to include other artists and I like to hire people. I like to work with other freelancers. But I decided on this one that I would do it. Because the theme was perfect for one of our characters. And I just wanted to illustrate the cover in the intro comic and also, shave down the cost a little bit so that there's more to share with the rest of our contributors afterwards because I don't have to pay myself.
Yeah.
I can eat ramen. And not the fancy kind from the restaurant. I mean the instant kind, right?
Yeah, the dry ones that you got to add water to.
You know.
Sometimes that's the best. Listen, we live off that stuff. Yeah, this is a gorgeous looking cover, and what's really fun about these is you guys can catch JL. It's every Tuesday and Thursday, correct?
Yeah.
Can you give the times that he's streaming on Twitch and he's usually doing some artwork from the next campaign? So when are those streams?
Yeah, so 4:30 Mountain Time to usually about 9:30, sometimes 10 Mountain Time. So every Tuesday and Thursday, you can pop in on twitch.tv/JLDraco and hang out with me while I make art. Lots of people find it something meditative to put on in the background while they're doing something else.
Yeah, I usually pop
You know,
in and I have it on one of my screens while I'm building out some stuff as well, like when I'm working on some stuff. Like it's listen, this is I love Twitch because it's got this really cool co-watching experience and community where people co-watch and create and conversate, and it's just a fun little space to kind of be in every week when you're able to catch it.
And to be honest, I love streaming as much as I love watching other people's streams. Like if I'm not streaming and I'm making art, I almost always have someone else's stream on, on my TV or whatever while I'm on my computer doodling, or on
Yeah,
one of my secondary monitors. Sometimes I'll even have like two streams on at once, which is like that's when
that's
I'm having a real ADHD day and I need like to like get that part of my brain to have something to chew on, like,
I was just gonna say that's an ADHD day.
yeah, yeah, listening to two different streamers at once while drawing,
Yeah,
definitely.
I listen. I I am guilty of having your stream on, putting it on low, and listening to music at the same time while
Yeah,
I'm doing some art.
awesome.
So I feel that, dude. So first, before I scroll through, let's talk a little bit about this
Yeah,
character here.
Quester.
We
So,
got
Quester is based on a friend of mine, Robert Olson, who I met at MizCon, which is the Missoula fandom convention that happens every year. I love MizCon. It's so great. It's so nice to have a con right in my town with a wonderful community.
yeah.
Um,
The
and
local
this
scene. Listen,
one guy, Robert, what?
I do want to encourage those creators out there if to look for your local scene, because your local
Oh
scene
yeah,
will do wonders for your commute for your base.
absolutely.
Yeah,
And to be part of its growth and be active in suggestions and getting other people to show up. And
yeah,
like a lot of times I think people look at something and see if it's what they want or not,
hmm,
instead of looking at something and seeing the possibilities and helping to grow it and helping to shape it. Like we do shape the things we're involved with, we shape the things we're a part of. And
yeah,
that's really where the magic is when you've been with something for a few years and you see it grow in the direction you've been wanting it to grow, even maybe not in all the ways, but in some of the ways, right?
yeah, yeah.
So this guy Robert, he comes up and he's just bopping from table to table. Hey, how you doing? You need anything? Can I get you coffee? Can I get you lunch? Like, you need water? To all the different exhibitors,
I love that. I love that.
and like a couple years in a row, I saw him doing that, and he helped me out a few times. He got me things that I needed, or hooked me up
Yeah,
with someone else, or and so he just loves quests. He loves quests. He loves side quests. On his quests, he goes on side quests to get the thing that he's on a quest for. Like
yeah.
trading quests and stuff. And like, I was just like, all right. I was working on Mr. Guy 3 at the time, and I was like, all right, if you can get me. And this, I said it tongue in cheek, like off the cuff. I was like, if you can get me 10 backers today on this Kickstarter, I will make you a comic book character. And he did.
Oh my god,
He
that's
literally.
awesome. That's awesome.
So, and then I made this character, and I just, first of all, he was wearing this like, you know, green kimono and like the link hat and the elf ears and like,
Love
so
that.
it was just perfect. It was like, all right, you're a character now. And so I had him at the end of Mr. Guy 3, where he does like the thank you page and credits for the Kickstarter backers. And now he's on the cover of Side Quests and the intro comic of Side Quests, and he's going to be thanking the backers at the end of Side Quests, and it's just really fun.
And he's helping through the storyline, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Awesome, awesome.
yeah. So our intro comics in every anthology, there's always an intro comic that explains what's in this particular anthology.
Yeah. So, all right, let's talk a little bit about some of the rewards that people can get inside.
So first, there's the digital comic, which is great. It's awesome. You get to read the whole thing. It's awesome because you don't have to pay, you don't have to worry about shipping or storage or anything like that. You just get it right to your device. But with every single reward tier at any level, every single backer has a tree planted for them through our official ongoing partnership with the Global Reforestation Heroes at One Tree Planted. And what they do is, we pay for X amount of trees. Say we get 300 backers. We pay them for 300 trees and they decide where those trees are best planted and what kind of tree is indigenous to that area and is going to help that environment hold down the fort as best it can.
And
And this is a really important movement.
it looks like they planted them all right here on the cover of.
All on the cover, yes. And then, of course, you get the thank you on our website. We have a section that on our website that thanks all our backers, and a thank you printed in the book for whatever name you want. You could be like, yeah, I'm Frankenstein 69, like, and we'll be like, cool, thanks Frankenstein 69 in the book and on the website. You know, you can let us know what moniker you want that to be.
And how many pages is this thing going to be?
Probably like, I would guess 140.
Okay,
maybe more.
Yeah.
It's going to be a chunky book. Like, you don't want to drop it on your toe. You know,
I understand. Like the last, you're like, well, it's gonna be around this because you really do. When you really don't know the page count until you actually get in there and edit the things and put it in page by page. But I love it's gonna be over 100 something pages, over 130 pages. So that's
despite that, we managed to work out free shipping in the U.S. and discounted shipping everywhere else. So yeah, fantastic. I mean, that's a big deal.
140 pages, nearly 200 pages for $39. Fantastic.
And you get the digital, so you can read the digital and put the book on your shelf and keep it in pristine condition for the rest of time, or whatever you want to do, you know.
And it looks like the next tier up, you guys load people up with all kinds of really great stuff.
Yeah, you get Lindsay and I doing an audio commentary of the entire book. So we go through the whole book and give you our commentary. We did this for the last one and it worked out great. So that's a download. And then you get a download MP3 of the anthology theme song by David Geringer. David never misses. Every single song I've ever heard from him is gold. He is a musical genius, and we're so honored to have had him do the theme song for our anthologies. We're stoked about that. You also get that slick vinyl Oneshi Press crest sticker, and a sticker with Quester making the hard eyes face, and it says "I love quests" on it, which is great fun. And you get an art print of the wizard pondering its chorb, which is something that unfolds throughout the anthology. You know, the wizard pondering the orb was a very popular meme, but a chorb is a chicken orb, because why not? Everybody needs a chorb in their life. You also get an art print of the cover of the anthology.
Well, you got to tell everybody why it's a chicken orb, because you got.
I don't know. It just is.
There's a reason why it's all chickens. Come on, let them know. You do a chicken joke for every single stream.
Okay, every single Tuesday and Thursday, every time I go live, I come up with a new chicken joke for that day to announce my streams with. Every single time. And I don't repeat them, and I've been doing it for years. So I have a catalog of probably like 1,000 chicken jokes at this point that I've written. So yeah, it's also a little bit of fan service for the community, the audience, you know, the diehards.
Like an inside joke for all your followers, which
is I love to do that where people who know me, it's an inside joke, and people who don't know me, it's like Dadaist comedy, you know, like it's just gonzo.
All right.
But even in my inside jokes, I include Easter eggs that are deeper inside jokes for other people, you know, so I go deep. In the top tier, you get all that, plus the bookmark and postcard, which gives you a free download for the Unexpected anthology, and you get anthologies 1 through 13, which will keep
Holy smokes.
That is all the comics you need in your life. I mean, that will keep you entertained for, maybe not in your life, but at least for the rest of the season, you know.
And that's all
the long winter. It's all 13 anthologies, right?
Listen, they sent me a package of every single thing they did, and
that was a few years ago.
And that was a few years ago.
And it was
back then. That was a
heavy package, right?
Yeah,
it's way bigger now. I'm not even sure if it would fit in the largest flat rate shipping box.
Yeah, well, there's a joke there that I'm not gonna touch.
Yeah.
Well, the packages have always grown
Yep.
over at Oneshi.
Growers and showers.
That's why it's the full Monty.
Right.
This is a great freaking deal. So let's talk about each of these stories here, because and I don't talk down on anybody's artwork, right? Because artwork is subjective, right? And
Good.
not
Good.
one
Love to
piece
hear
of
that.
artwork, not one piece of artwork is ugly or you know what I mean. So I am of the camp of artwork is subjective, and
Sure.
it's
I
there's
agree.
artwork out there
Hard
for
agree.
everyone. So
Absolutely.
so but I have to say this time around, the art you guys chose in this particular one has blown me away.
Fire. Fire.
It's blown me away.
Yeah. Every single one of these has something just amazingly charismatic and charming about it.
Yeah.
And in different ways too. Like some of them are really cutesy. Some of them are like really stark and serious looking, but like all of them are something you can latch on to, you know?
Mhm. All right, so
Yeah. I
let's talk.
mean,
Let's jump into these stories here a little bit. Tell us a little bit about what we're seeing on the screen for those
that's
who are
Don't
watching.
Forget the Flowers by Hoodie Song and Scott Godlewski. And it's a really great, like, superhero side quest story. The art is phenomenal. The writing is, it's funny and fun, but also like well structured storytelling.
Love that. Love that. And
Scrolling
this
along, we
Look here.
have
There's the colors on what is this one
yeah,
called? Homecoming.
yeah,
Oh,
by
you got
Matthias Julio and Julian Emilio, I think.
blues, pinks, yellows. Oh, they would like it.
Yeah,
I
it's
love
got
this color scheme.
such a like pop retro synth vibe. Like,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
yeah,
You're totally
it's
you're totally gonna listen to some synthwave while you're riding
yeah,
this.
definitely. Right? Lo-fi synthwave too, right? With like the
Yeah.
crackles and everything,
Maybe a little bit of a Joy Division.
Yeah. No, this is really the whole story is very much this page exemplifies the story. It's poetic in both the writing as well as the illustration. It's very unconventional. And I always want to have stuff that's like very conventional and what you expect out of a comic, and
Mhm,
then pair it with things that are like, wait, a comic can be that? Like things that you wouldn't have even thought of a comic being.
mhm.
So I love that. I always try to offer good mix in our anthologies.
Yeah. And then next up is Bruins.
Bruins by Kyle Lawrence and William Montalvo. Kyle has submitted and been in quite a few of our anthologies already. And yeah, Kyle's a great writer, and William is a great illustrator. And it's a real, I mean, just look at what's going on that table in this
Yeah.
image. Like that alone exemplifies the kinds of shenanigans you can expect here. Like what is that? A jar of baby teeth and a pineapple? Like what is going on there? She's brewing a potion,
Yeah,
obviously.
there you go. Potions.
So the humor is like right there on the cuff. And that's, we tried to again pick images from each story that like
Yeah.
really show the flavor of that story.
Yeah, encompasses that story. Awesome. All
And then
right.
we have Linda, unlicensed detective in Terror at the Arbor Day Stage Magic Spectacular
I love
by Charlotte McCorn and Phobia Solara. And it is, I think, the fifth or fourth installment of Linda that we've had so far. And anyone that's been reading Linda in our previous anthologies knows that it's something to look forward to. The humor, I mean, Charlotte is a stand-up comedian, among many other things. A wonderfully celebrated MC in Missoula, recently moved, but
awesome.
a big pillar of the local community for sure, and just knows how to deliver comedy. And
Fantastic.
this is like, yeah, the title alone is a joke. You know what I mean? Like the
Yeah.
title alone is,
It's hilarious. I love that.
yeah, it's hilarious. It's great.
The Super Hitman's secret power.
Yeah. So this is Robert uh, Jeshenik, Raphael Kristani, and Mohammed Foud. And the art and drawing, I mean, it is
Yeah.
just the whole thing is like intense and high energy, but also a fun side quest, you know? So like I really love that juxtaposition of like really stark and serious looking, but also like fun, you know?
Yeah.
Um,
You
yeah,
got like
it's great.
it's like DC kind of characters, but like fun, awesome, and the
Yeah,
artwork is very reminiscent to like the old school kind of
yeah.
DC.
There's something like maybe a little bit imagey about it, but also
Yeah,
like kind of
I
old
feel
school
that.
DC, or you know,
Yeah, love that.
yeah, it's
All
really cool.
right, next one up, Magical Mission.
Yeah, so Magical Mission by Elizabeth Corbiere. I'm not sure if I pronounced that right. We've only corresponded through email, but it's adorable. It's really fun. You know, you could tell from the art style, it's very like whimsical and
Yeah,
silly, and has almost like
it's
a kid's book adventure vibe. You know?
simplified, but not like oversimplified. Well,
Yeah,
which I love.
exactly.
I love
Yeah.
that. I love
It's
that.
got a very it's almost like got a meme vibe, like something you would expect to be like each
Mhm.
panel is like an internet meme kind of,
I got.
you
I
know.
yeah. I love that. The Last
Uh,
Martian.
the Last Martian by Ryan George and Sam Pirata is really it's I think a like a dissection of um, colonialism. There's concepts of like territory, identity. You know, basically, this person, a colonist, you know, being the first Martian, is confronted by someone who is actually the last Martian, and therefore you can't be the first Martian. And it's you know, tongue in cheek. It's
Mhm.
pretty lighthearted, but it is a philosophical look at some deeper matters in a fun and lighthearted kind of way, you know,
I
and I
feel
really
like
appreciate that.
that one I feel seen with
Yeah.
that. All right, Transmigration.
Transmigration is a trip and a half. Tom Leno
Yeah.
or Lynott, I'm not sure. Jack Van Tom. It is the art, first of all, is really got this like golden age illustration kind of
Yeah.
washy, vibey feel, which is just beautiful.
Mhm.
Um, it deals with what happens when we're done with this quest, you know, and is the next quest the end, or is it a side quest, or was this quest just a side quest? You know, it's very much got like afterlife themes, and there's a lot. It's interpretable, you know, and
Love
very
that.
fun, very cool, very stylish.
Very cool.
Battle of the Bands by Meebles Matarang is a choose your own fate story. So, like, you know, if you want this to happen, you go to this page. If you want that to happen, you go to that page. And
Oh, I love it. That's
seeing that
cool.
as a comic in an anthology is just like, what? I don't think
Yeah.
I've ever seen that before. And it's great, you know.
Yeah.
So you're on your own little side quest reading this story, and yeah, it's just really fun. The art is just super cute and charming and spirited. Um, it's a fun read.
Very cool. Witch's Brew.
Witch's Brew, no socks, no shoes, no socks, no service by Shadow Wind, who is a
Shit.
pillar of Team
Yeah.
Oneshi and has worked with us on many things
Mhm.
and has just an absolutely wonderful art style that is a combination of incredibly informed detail and very whimsical sense of figure, and you know, like it's got a cartoon aesthetic but also like a really
Yeah.
classic illustration kind of texture. And I love Shadow and style. I love her writing
Yeah.
style. I love her art style. It really comes together. This is a world that she's been building and working on for a while, and this is the first foray into making it a comic, and we hope to see a lot more of it.
And Shadowwind is a fantastic person, like all around.
Oh yeah,
They're always in your corner with everything you do. Like
just
fantastic,
super supportive and
super supportive.
kind, and yeah, really great person.
Very. Open
Open
Moon.
Moon by Tim Miller and Nazarena Bosch. So Tim Miller is also a Missoula pillar, and does comedy here in the comedy circuit, and is a writer. And he had this idea for this comic, and he approached us, and he asked us for if we had an idea for an illustrator. So we suggested Nazarena because we love Nazarena. Nazarena's been working on us with a Children of Gaia story, and she's actually illustrated 2 comics in this anthology. We'll get to the next one in just a couple more comics.
Very
But
cool.
yeah, it's a fun, funny, weird story that takes some interesting turns on what you might expect.
Very cool. And I found something out today that Missoula's got a really cool secret comedy community.
It's got a big comedy community,
That's awesome.
really big.
Love that. Love that.
A Spy for the People by Ninke Najox and Emma Olafson. And A Spy for the People is it's, I don't want to say like it's funny, but it's wholesome. Wholesome is the word. Like it's got a very cute vibe. It's very wholesome. Deals with some darker materials. The style is very like uh, it's got an old world kind of take on the
Yeah.
visuals and the writing as
Yeah.
well.
The artwork
You can
definitely.
see it just in the
Yeah.
panel right there,
Mhm.
um, and it's very charming. It's
Yeah.
cute, but again, it's also serious.
Yeah. I love the lighting in this one. In this,
So good, right?
very very good. Look, definitely. It looks like there's light coming from the side of the person. So
Yeah,
very very cool. Love that. Okay. Next one up. Teenage Mystics.
yeah. So Colaris is a collective of a few people, and one of them is Nori Zander, who I worked with at Continuity Studios under Neil Adams. He worked for Neil Adams for many, 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 many years, and we worked together. And he just keeps coming back to us with these great submissions that are always super indie, bizarre, off the cuff,
Dude,
weird, out of the box, and
this
very
art,
fun,
this
very
art,
artistic.
freaking cool.
It's
Like
gorgeous, right?
the
It's so
colors,
stylish.
the positioning of the people in this panel. Oh, it's
It's got
freaking cool.
so much heart and style.
I love the colors because I love green. I love the yellows that go with greens and stuff, and then the
It
blue.
pops. It
That
really
blue,
pops.
it almost feels like that blue doesn't belong with that green, but it belongs with the yellow, so it works. You know what I mean? I
Right.
love it. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah,
Very
there's a really good sense of color theory working there.
totally. Yeah. All right,
And then we have
Goblin's Quest.
Goblin's Quest by Eneko Banyas, and I freaking love Eneko's art. Eneko has worked
Almost reminiscent to like Pokemon.
it's like if Pokemon and Disney and like Studio Ghibli had like
Okay.
some
Yeah.
kind of wild night and made this baby, like.
I love it.
But yeah, Eneko did the intro and outro for Tracy Queen. I mean, for Mr. Guy, which actually featured Tracy Queen and Catfish, 2 beloved characters of ours. Anyway, so Eneko did the intro and outro for that, and I just was immediately blown away. I just couldn't even handle how much I loved it. And seeing Goblin's Quest, I mean, I just love this character so
Very
much.
cool. Very cool. Late fees. This one, the colors in this
Yeah.
one, very cool
Yeah.
too.
So we got late fees, and I was looking at the black and whites. This is by E.E. Eugene and Patrick Wong. And I was looking at the black and whites, and I was like, this is amazing. I normally really prefer stuff colored, but like this line work is just so amazing. And I thought it was done. And then Lindsay was like, oh, we got the colors on late fees. And I was like, colors? Really? Cool. Let me check. And I looked at it and I was like,
Whoa.
oh, like it somehow got like 400% better. And I already thought it was amazing, you know?
I love
Yeah.
that when you have somebody who does really really great line work black and white, and then they go and color it, or they have somebody that
And
colors
it
it.
just like blows your mind. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So this is Bloom Squad by James Wayne Johnson and Marcello Salaza. And James Wayne Johnson is also in the Missoula Comedy Club. Yeah. So
Like you guys just went to the comedy club one night and said, "Do you guys want to be in an anthology?"
I mean, these are all people that we know well and
I
have
know.
known for years. So we're always going to their shows, and they're all great writers. I mean,
I love.
and they write jokes, but they also write
You know
comics.
what's funny
And
is I've noticed over working with creators over the years that there's a weird comedy and comics crossover,
there is.
which is probably why they call
So
them.
think about this: on stage, they're comics,
Uh-huh.
and off stage, they're making comics.
Exactly. Yeah. I love it. I love
Um,
it. Very cool.
and Bloom Squad, this is, I think, the sixth installment of Bloom Squad that's been in our anthologies. And this is slated to be a little bit of a finale, a wrap up, maybe not of the whole story, but of this arc. And so we gave him an extra 2 pages on this one. So
Very
instead of
cool.
an 8-page comic, this is a 10-page comic.
Awesome.
And you can see just from this panel,
Yeah.
Marcello's line work is just
Yeah, and it looks like they're
incredible.
looking outside of out from the inside of a car with very,
Yeah,
very,
it's
very
incredible. So much is being shown in just a
yeah,
little bit of a panel, and
yeah.
I love it. And then, of course, we have Michael Abstracto, who's maybe a real person, um, and their comic Trek Support, Call
and
for the
could
Orb.
could possibly be arting in the nude at the moment.
So Michael has done.
Oh, we got some comments. I'm sorry. I'm gonna pop them up as you talk. Go
Oh yeah, yeah. I actually. Shadow In. Yeah, all the Linda Lindas are so good, right?
ahead.
That's
Yeah.
me. I can't believe I've missed chat so much.
Oh,
Sorry.
it's Shadowland. We were talking how about how awesome
Hands yellow heart. Oh.
there you go. All right.
So
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Michael has done how many comics for us? Michael illustrated the
So many.
Tarmux comic.
Yeah.
Michael illustrated one of our Catfish comics.
Yeah. So that means we don't have to spend
So,
too much time on his. No, just kidding.
yeah, it's just great.
I love my.
He's
I love
Team
my.
Oneshi for life. Michael is always with us, and Trek Support is like every panel is like 5 puns, and the whole thing is like inside jokes with Team Oneshi, but a lot of it's stuff that you don't have to know us to get. It's really just very fun.
And it's because Abstracto is exactly that. He's
Yes,
he's always
abstracted.
punning. He's always punning all over the place.
Punning
Um,
all over. Delivers the punishment. So, Would You Like to Save Your World by Peter Taylor and Henry Jerome.
I would.
Peter Taylor, he was in our last anthology. He did, I want to say it was Minnesota Gothic. And, he had this really great submission for this one. He intended to color it, but, some things came up and he couldn't. So he asked us for a suggestion on a colorist, and we suggested Henry Jerome, who's also coloring a few things of ours and has colored a couple things in this anthology. And we got some sneak peeks of the colored pages. They're
Very.
gonna blow your socks off.
Oh,
Peter
and
Taylor is a great writer,
I can
and
I can
the
imagine
line
because
art
the line art in here
is amazing.
it's awesome, but it's also it's almost like this detail, but
So
with like minimalistic detail.
yeah, and so the colors really just take everything that Peter's done and just like glorify it.
Like
You know?
it's so hard to do. Like this wall here, I'm looking at it.
Oh yeah, just
There's
these little dots
there's a
make this
person,
whole
yeah,
shape. It's wild.
exactly. There's a person here in the middle, and then there's two walls, but there's not very much work going. Like a lot of lines are going on in the wall, but you could totally tell that it's the perspective is going
It's like
down.
well thought out. Yeah.
So
A
so
lot a lot is done in the pencils, and then I think a lot of that is minimized in when he's inking, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah, and it's such a like you said, well thought out, very smart.
Yeah.
Perspective.
And
Very,
that
you gotta have
also is
really
shows who Peter is. I mean, that's
perspective. Yeah, very,
his
very hard.
writing is like that, his composition is like that, like all just really meticulously thought out, you know.
Mhm.
And then we have A Funny Thing Happened on the Way to the Afterlife by Matt Mortal and Sandu Anamaria. And it is just adorable and hilarious and fun, you know. It's a side quest on the way to the afterlife, you know.
Awesome. Um, Matt Mortal. That's Matthias, right? I believe
I,
so. I think because he's on ours as well. I
I,
believe if it's
I
the same
think
person.
so.
I think Matthias Aruda, right?
It might be, yeah.
Yeah, he's
And
he's
so then we also have the second comic that Nazarena illustrated. This is written by Lindsay G. And this is The Madam's Journey, which is an 8-page comic introducing this Madam character, who's going to be the main character of a full book that we're working on.
that.
And this is, you know, Lindsay G wrote this for, it's a Children of Gaia story. So those of you who have been following our Children of Gaia series are going to be really stoked about this. Those of you who don't know about Children of Gaia are going to want to after reading this. It is
Mhm.
phenomenal.
Yeah,
Lindsay did an amazing job writing it, and
love
Nazarena
that.
did an
Yeah.
amazing job illustrating it. And it's
I
just,
wanna know. Okay, all right. What's the reading here on the because tarot cards here, right?
I'm not going to interpret the reading, but I
Oh,
can tell you what those cards are.
okay.
And I actually have a card system that I designed for Children of Gaia, where
Oh,
there are 5 seasons in a year, and there are 5 Eternals, and each Eternal gets a season, and then the rest of them are rotated. Like, so you might be like in the season of Neridia in the year of Eblanara, or you might be in the season of Eblanara in the year of Eblanara, or you might be in the season of Turanara in the year of Neridia. So those combinations basically speak to um, energy dynamics,
mhm.
what those Eternals represent, and their dynamic of when it's their dominion over a season versus their dominion over a year. And if it's two different Eternals, what their dynamic will be versus if it's one
Yeah,
Eternal, like Neridia's year, Neridia's season,
yeah.
Neridia has absolute dominion over that period of time. So when you're doing a reading with those cards,
Mhm.
what you're actually getting is like who's in charge and who's acting under their charge. And so you could do a tarot reading many different ways. You could have
Yeah,
like past, present, future, or
there's
like,
so
you
many
know,
ways.
it could get very complicated or very simplified. You
Yeah,
could pull one card and that could be the answer to a question, you know. So
I
that's
love
actually a tarot deck that I made.
very
And
I love that. I want dude,
yeah.
we need to
And
make we
so
need to
she
do a
uses
Kickstarter.
it in
I
the
wanna
comic.
see a freaking Kickstarter with these tarots, and I
That might
swear
happen. That might happen.
because and if that's the case, we might have to buy one and learn how to do it. Because recently,
That might just happen.
my wife has been getting into tarot, and she's been doing
Oh, really?
tarot reads, and
Cool.
every once in a while, when we're feeling a lot of weird energy, we do some tarot readings. And like the other night,
Nice.
did one. I've been doing tarot readings throughout the Kickstarter to kind of give myself this kind of an idea and aspect into my energy that I'm putting out there into the world, and it's telling me exactly what I'm feeling and doing. Like there was the other night we did one where it was telling me you're doubting yourself, but you're doing good things and you're going to continue to do good things because of how much work you're putting into it, right? And
Heck
and I
yeah.
was like, okay, that's exactly what I'm feeling with all this crud right now, right?
Yep.
So I was like, all right, cool. Maybe I love all I gotta say is I love tarot. So I encourage tarot and creating new things like that is very fantastic.
You know,
And,
also, Lindsay's really into tarot, and we have a friend, Heather, who made a tarot deck, and it's really amazing. It's now been
cool.
interpreted to like, I don't know how many different languages, but it's like really doing
Oh, I
well.
love
It's a super cool deck.
I love that.
I'll put you in contact with
Yeah,
that
yeah,
to
yeah.
get
Very.
that. And
I love it.
Heather
Love
Roan Robbins, she's a renowned astrologist, and she's just an amazing writer, an amazing creator. The deck is the best deck I've ever seen by far.
Awesome. I love that. I love it. And you said Matt Mortal 616, right? Is that what you said? Yep. That's his
What?
handle. Matt Mortal. You said he was sick. Matt Mortal 616 on social media, right?
616. I don't know about that.
Is that him? Maybe it's somebody else. I don't know.
Oh, in chat or what?
Of the one of the by the one of the creators of this one here, you said.
Oh
Matt.
yeah. We just got by Matt Mortal, so I don't know what his handle is.
Okay, because
We we probably have that information somewhere.
because we have a Matt Mortal on archetypes as well. So
It might be the same Matt Mortal. That might be either how Matt found out about us or
awesome.
how Matt found out about you, or it could be two different Matt Mortals.
Right, right.
Maybe
Who
they're Matt Immortals. I don't know.
knows? But we have him on our.
We
He
should
does
find
art
out. I bet
for
it's the same person in both
I bet
friggin'
you it is.
collections live
I
on Kickstarter right now. That's
I
amazing.
bet you it is. Oh, it is. It is him. So it's the same Matt. So he's on archetypes as well, guys. So we're gonna talk a little bit about.
Fantastic. I love it.
So I love that. We talked a little bit about the theme song. I want you guys to go and check it out and listen to it. This is like
So good.
again here. I'm going to say this again. Art is subjective, but this
It's objectively awesome.
is exactly. Yeah, there you go. I couldn't have said it better. Exactly.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I just had to.
That was perfect. No,
Cool.
no. Do you still got a little bit of time? We're running a little over on time. Are you okay
Yeah,
with
I've
that?
got a few minutes. Whatever.
All right, cool. So let's we're gonna talk a little bit about archetypes, and then we also have Benjamin W. Morse has his Kickstarter live right now as well.
Before we move on, can I
Please.
just tell people
Yes. While I pull this up.
Kickstarter.oneshipress.com will always lead to whatever our current Kickstarter campaign is. We take that address and reroute it to whatever the new campaign that we're working on is. So right now, if you go to kickstarter.oneshipress.com, that's how you find side quests. Okay, now with that said, let's talk about archetypes.
Let's talk about archetypes. I'm gonna pull it up here because I wasn't doing my homework while you were talking. And
so archetypes has what, 3 days left?
We have about 3-ish days left here. We are
just about funded.
We're we are now under $100.
Yeah, you're gonna make it by the end of
hopefully by
tomorrow afternoon. You'll be funded, and then see if you can get those stretch goals.
Exactly. Let's talk a little bit about this. So, what archetypes is? We did an issue 1, and this is going to be our second issue. What we were talking a little bit about how we wanted to, like, how you guys created something because you wanted something for everybody, or tools or resources and things of that nature, right? So we kind of took that kind of idea and created Archetypes, which is an independent geek culture magazine. But what it really is a tool for the creative. And the reason why I say that is because it not only does it have short comics that we give people availabilities to put their short 8 to 10 page comics, just like Oneshi Press does with their anthologies. We do the same thing. And the same kind of way, we think that artwork is subjective and that there's artwork out there for everybody. So we don't discriminate on who is able to be submitted to this, right? But we do go through a submission process, right? So everybody's able to submit, but not everyone will be chosen, right? But that don't be discouraged to continue to do it because we might hold it off and we might do something with it later. But what this is it's kind of like a tool where we not only do we have articles and stuff like that, we also have tips and tricks of the trade. All the digital stuff that we're going to be sending out to every single person comes with our lists of things that we do, our checklist before we do get ready for our Kickstarter, like pre-campaign stuff, like what you should do before things that, and you get to check those off, right? And we also have this really cool thing that I created, this PDF page that I created, how exactly we at Geek Collective build out each page and where everything should go. And
So cool.
and it's exactly the way that I build out my pages, which is right here. If you're looking at it, you have the logo, and then we tell you what it is, and in a short, quick little one sentence log line, right? And that's because, and you want to write that out because if you got reviewers, they're going to go to your page and then they're going to screen grab this stuff or copy and paste this stuff, right? So you want to make it easily accessible for them to grab that stuff. And then down below, underneath that, you can put it into a longer synopsis, right? A log line is usually 1 to 2 sentences, short sentences, and a synopsis is usually a short, small paragraph in detail. It just elongates your log line a little bit deeper, right? And gives you a little bit more insight into what the story is, right? And what you're doing with it. So that's kind of what you do. And then we kind of go further in
Oh,
and
hey,
give
I saw Lindsay G up there,
Lindsay G. Yep. Lindsay G.
co-founder of Oneshi Press.
Yep. Uh-huh.
Our connection there.
Yes, so Lindsay G is going to offer some of us stuff. She may be offering a really cool special, which is going to be possibly, if she's not too busy. Let's hope she's not too busy to get it out there and get us a really cool, unique story that she comes up with, or a preview of something she's already done. It's going to be a prose story. So, but you guys are going to get a really cool treat from Lindsay G, which is one of the co-founders of
I
Oneshi
think
Press.
I know what it is already, but I'm not going to say anything.
Yeah, please don't spoil it because we want it to be a super special. We did. Here's the one prompt that we asked her if she's able to, because she's busy, right? She does amazing work with some editors and editing other people's amazing works. So we don't want to dip into. We want her to be able to do that.
If I told you who she's editing right now,
I'd go nuts.
you'd probably cry.
I know, I bet, and that's why we want her to give her the freedom to be able to do her work, right? And we give her the freedom to submit whatever she wants, because she's also helping us with some of the editing stuff. So we're giving her editor credits on this as well. So but she's the person that gives us insight into magazines, because she's worked at magazines and
So
editing
many.
different things. So she's so many different things. So she's the one that gives us tips and tricks of this
Her
world.
credits list is like
Most of the stuff in this GIF is Lindsay G.
yeah.
But so we have covers this time, really cool covers.
Love that cover. It's so good.
We always do a magazine cover. And then we always do a like a magazine homage. So last time we did a Wizards homage. This time, because it's a spooky season book,
Fangoria?
this is a Fangoria homage. This is done by our in-house cartoonist, which is Benjamin W. Morse. He's done Scarlet Twilight. He's done some work for Oneshi Press as well. But
he did a whole chapter of Mr. Guy in Act 3.
Yeah, and some covers and some cover work. So
no, he did the cover art. My bad.
So
I'm confused. Help.
It's okay. It's late.
He did an amazing job with the cover art.
Amazing cartoon. He doesn't like to be called a cartoonist because I'm just an artist. Yeah, he's a cartoonist because he does it all. So give him his
illustrator.
He's an illustrator, but he's not just an illustrator. He does art, coloring, lettering, everything. He does it all. And he edits. He's a cartoonist. That's what it is. So sorry, Ben, I love you, but you're a cartoonist. So but we got that one. So what Archetypes is you're gonna get 10 comics, 10 articles, over 40 comic book creators that are collaborated on this one. And you got some really cool stuff. We got some amazing stories in here from CJ Hudson, and all kinds of really great people. This one is called A Serpent in Our Mist. Danger ensues in Elven Woods when a simple snake bite has big consequences. Really, really cool. You're gonna love this one. CJ Hudson does some really great fantasy stuff. He's in the direct market. He does the Kickstarter stuff too. So if you guys check it out, if you guys want to look him up. We're gonna develop a story within this world with CJ, and he's
Cool.
working on it right now, and we're going to publish it underneath Geek Collective hopefully within the next year or two, and we're going to do that through Kickstarter. But this is such a gorgeous book, and that one's going to be a little bit more NSFW. This one's tame, this one's safe for work. But
I
we're
could
gonna,
see
we're
his
gonna play with,
style working well for a Children of Gaia story. I might
yeah.
have to get a referral from you sometime.
Yeah, this is a really great group of creators. You guys had a creator studio that had a collective of a bunch of people. This is kind of the same thing. They got a collective of people who work on this. So a really great collective team has come together and
So
created this artwork. Um,
Diego Ecolón is the penciler.
Yes, we got the sketch by Diego, line art by Maximo Montero, colors and lettering by Francisco Balbuena.
Great teamwork. Yeah, I
Great,
love that.
great stuff on this one. And then we've got Abracadabra. This one is from Jonathan Hedrick. He's done Spill Blood. He's done The Recount. Can I Scream? He's at Thought Bubble right now. A3 is going to start right now in the UK. If you guys are in the UK, he's tabling there. Go check him out. But this one is really cool because it's got because Greg is a young man, and we created some really cool stuff like a tarot card. Remember, I told you I love tarot cards. We made a tarot card with Greg. This is art from our pal
Cool. I
Jake
love it.
Hammond Art, and it looks just like the full card. But the reason why we did that is because the full card, as you know, means ambitious, right? The fool's ambition kind of thing. So that's who Greg is. Greg has a speech impediment, but he really wants to be a great magician like his grandfather, right? But he can't see the magic word because he uses W's where there should be R's. So one day at his talent show, after everybody on the school bus making fun of him, the teacher who introduced him accidentally uses W's in their R's because he does, and they kind of make fun of him. The whole school is laughing. He can't say the magical word, but once he says the magic word, a cute bunny is supposed to pop out of the hat, but instead it is a big, scary rabbit who wants to protect Greg from all of these mean bullies, right? So
Oh,
that's that story. I love that. It's a really great, wholesome story, but with a little bit of a scary edge. That one's gorgeous. I love that one. And we got Howl of the West from our pal Wesley Gift, who actually got second place in his playwright the I think it was the Playwright Association of Ohio, or I forget where he's at. I forgot. I'm sorry, Wes. I'm
I
killing
feel
that.
like Ohio
No,
or
I meant,
whatever,
I meant to write it
Chicago.
down. I meant to write it down, and I screwed that up. But dude. He got second place in a playwright competition by with over with the Playwright Association where he lives.
That's
Fantastic guy.
awesome.
Great artwork here. This one follows a woman with a lichen curse, and she's going to use it to enact revenge on the werewolf who hurt her. Um, we got another one here by Adam Barnhart and his team over of Raleigh and Henry Jerome. This one is called Mother. The School of Ashram has long worshipped their god, protecting it through
I
its
Can I
dormant.
just say how awesome Henry Jerome is, and that I'm so stoked that he's
Yeah,
getting all
fantastic.
around.
Yeah, very cool stuff. And then this Halloween she rises from her slumber and nobody else is safe. I just got some of the colors in from Henry. Oh my
They're
gosh.
so good, right? He
Oh,
kills it.
so good. Was he on your guys's too? Did he do
Yeah, he did a couple things for us.
fan-
He works with me pretty regularly.
fantastic? See, look at that, guys. You guys got to back both of these because we
He's
share.
doing inks and flats on my intro comic right now for side quests.
Love it.
And he's coloring Peter Taylor's story, Would You Like to Save Your World,
There you
on
go.
side quests. The
So
one that
we
you really, really love the art on, he's coloring
yeah.
that.
Oh, very cool. And we have multiple people who are working with side quests and on this one as well. We got Whitlock, Escobar, and Bona.
That is
Escobar
really cool.
actually has a couple of stories in here that they did. This one's called Madam Shadow. Madam Shadow must investigate a murder of a young woman, but is she a fraud or does she have something else to hide? in this one, she's kind of a psychic who was brought in to help the police solve a murder. And people don't know if she's real or not. Very cool. We got Charms by the Cassaday family, written by Sarah de Cassaday. This is kind of a really cool. That if you guys know Kickstarter, Charms is all over Kickstarter. Russ Cassaday is all over there. He helps people build Kickstarter campaigns as well. Kind of does the same things we do, and then he also has this book that they publish out as well. Fantastic stuff. If you guys never checked out Charms, he was cool enough to offer us a preview of Charms 4, so make sure you guys check that one out. The Great Day from Austin Hamlin and Kurt Belcher. Austin Hamlin just published a book through Band of Bards called Big Guns, Stupid Rednecks, which you guys can still get. It's in previews right now. You can get second issue and the third issue right now in Previews World. If you guys head on over there and check that out, you can get that and make sure to ask your LCS to order that for you guys. But this one's called The Great Day. A man enjoys his day no matter what the cost. But I told you guys, this is a spooky book, right? So you get this. I'm gonna tell you guys that you guys are gonna be on this guy's side, but at the end, you might not be. Just gonna say that. The Highway Phantom. This one, again by David Escobar. Art. Look at his freaking line art here. Fantastic. He did Madam Shadow as well. This one's called The Highway Phantom. On the fateful anniversary of a hitchhiker's tragic demise, a truck driver's simple act of kindness leads him into a harrowing night, and it's called The Highway Phantom. You can get the idea of what's going to happen here. Danse Macabre. This one is I literally took this one just because of the name, because one of my favorite bands is The Faint, and they have an album called Danse Macabre. I'm just kidding. I love this.
Oh, Reed Hinkley Barnes that lettered that. Nice.
Yep. Yeah, yeah, he did. And I've worked with
Reed a few times.
I've always worked with I work with a lot with Reed on some stuff that I do. I designed a bunch of books that he's a part of as well. But this one is Desmond Cobb. Surrounded by constant death from the plague, Peter finally abandons his faith entirely after his wife, but a mysterious new priest in town might just help him believe once more. And this priest is a creepy looking guy. He should not be a priest. And then we got a cool one from
I love the name Zombie MX. It's so
Zombie
good.
MX of Ben Humanick and Jordan Alaska. This one's fantastic. They created this one during the pandemic, and they had nowhere to put it. And then I was like, hey man, well, why don't you bring it over here? Well, let's put it in there. And he said, cool. And then a little while back, he's like, hey, I'm excited. We actually got plans. We're gonna update the artwork. So they updated the artwork just to put it in archetypes. So you guys are gonna get some gorgeous updated artwork here with this one, and this one's fun. I'm gonna read you guys the log line. It's a fun little thing. It's the last day of the Grind City Downhill Derby, and best friends JJ and Molly are determined to win the 10K prize and save their super sick community center. But when a zombie outbreak hits alongside the starting whistle, these BMXers will find themselves in a different kind of race for their own survival.
It definitely makes me think of like a plot of like a Nintendo game from like the 80s or something.
Yes,
you know?
yes, especially with this, it's like this downhill derby.
Yeah. Like, I just see it like you know, going downhill, like zombies popping out,
and
like, what was that one with the lazy river? Do you remember that? Did you ever play that?
Oh, I forget what that was called.
Where you're like on the inner tube and you can paddle left or paddle right, and you have to like avoid alligators and stuff. You know,
that stuff was fun, right? And then here's our articles here. We got one called Cosmic Comics, the excellent existential horror of James Tynion IV and Eric Donovan. Luke Henderson wrote a little essay, a little bit about their trilogy that they did, and how much he loves it. And then here's Matt Mortal, Ghost of the Page, comic book apparitions. This one talks a little bit about when some comic book creators have met their characters and they possibly might have been ghosts. They don't really know, or they've seen things of like there's visions, and there's always those fun stories where creators kind of they're like, did I just see my character for real, like in real life, or sometimes there's like think there's a story out there with I forget what's it when it creator met a person at a con, and he was like, that is the perfect, that is who encompasses my freaking
I love
character. I
that.
think I just met
Like
them.
doppelganger, but with your
Yeah.
OCs.
But with your character, you're like, that's exactly what I thought it would look like in my head, and you're cosplaying as it. It looks freaking fantastic. So that's a cool one. And then here's the one we were talking about the other day. Writing with Aphantasia, how comics help me
Yeah, I love that.
visualize. And you listen, you are the best at explaining what aphantasia is. So I'm going to ask you to explain that really quick.
Sure. So I have a couple of friends with aphantasia, both of whom are amazing artists. And aphantasia is a neurodivergence where you do not have a visual imager in your imagination. So neurotypical folks, when you say, hey, picture an apple, have a degree of like how well they can picture an apple. Some people can picture kind of like the loose shape of an apple when they close their eyes. Some people can picture an apple in all its detail. I
Mm-hmm.
can picture an apple at the molecular level. Like, you know, um, someone with aphantasia, they're like, well, what do you mean? I know what an apple is. I'm thinking about the information of what an apple is, but they can't actually picture it. They don't have what is commonly referred to as a mind's eye.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's just, it's literally like being, you know, having dyslexia or something like that. It's not something you can help. It's not anything about your character or personality. It's literally a neurological difference, and it's physical. And so people with aphantasia um, can't visually imagine something, but they do have the ability to, you know, think about the facts of something.
Yeah.
And so that's a
Well,
barrier to entry and a struggle for visual arts for people with aphantasia.
and they
Now,
have
again,
stories, and they have ideas, and they have things to put on the page, and it
sure.
just and they just got to work out how to do those things. And,
Yeah,
and
one of my really good friends was telling me she has to basically take all the information that she has stored up about drawing
hmm,
and work from there and work it out on the page because she can't work it out in her head ahead of time.
yeah.
And it's amazing, you know.
Yeah, and that's exactly what Edward Kane speaks to us about how he visualized, how comics help him visualize the image, the story, the imagination of what he wants to get across with these ideas and these words that he can put on the page. And what's very very cool, recently he just published his first prose book through Kickstarter, and it's successfully funded, and he is now getting ready to fulfill that that campaign. So very very cool. And when we spoke to him first, he was writing it, and he was getting ready to get it all set up, and he finally got it done. It's printed, it's set up and ready to go. So fantastic there. And then here we go, we got a Lindsay G special coming out. And then Adam Bartonhart's also going to get us some really cool stuff. Adam Bartonhart is not only is he a comic book creator, writer, he formerly worked at comicbook.com. He's all now working at CBR
Mm.
.com, and he's doing some really fantastic stuff over there for the community. And he did some really fantastic stuff over at comicbook.com stuff. And
Did
he
CBR used to be CMBR, or
uh,
there's two completely different
I think
entities?
that might be two different things. I'm not
Okay.
sure. He might be able to tell me more about that. But he's gonna also lend us a really cool spooky article as well. So that's really cool. And then we had our pal Joshua Pantelis. I'm sorry, I'm gonna hear I mess this up. Pantalesco, who spoke to Madeline Holly Rosen. We all know she's really great in the comic book Kickstarter community. She's done it for so many years. Boston Metaphysical Society and all that stuff. So he talked to her about her work and all that stuff. We're also going to talk to Jonathan Hedrick about his work and all of the stuff that he's doing. And then he recently moved out to Italy. And so we're going to talk to him about his move and how different that has been from being in the States and having all these availability to all of these cons and all of these shops around, to going to Italy, to not really having too much around there because, it's not it's popular, but it's not like it is here. You can throw a rock and probably hit a comic shop if you live in a really big city, right? That has popularity of that. Like here in Arizona, I literally could throw a rock in any direction and hit at least two comic shops, right, in Phoenix. So uh, I want to know a little bit about his experience about and then some of the cool comic book shops that he's seen out there, and I want to know a little bit about the community out there. So we're going to talk to him about his move and how different it is, or if it's a struggle, if it's not a struggle. So I want to talk to them and get some insight into that. Then we're going to talk to Austin Hamlin. Go ahead.
I was just going to ask if you mind if I put my link in chat, by the way.
Please drop that in there.
I didn't want to interrupt. Sorry.
No, good. And we're gonna talk to Austin Hamlin about him publishing his first works in the direct market, and then also weird. I don't know why that's doing that. And then Adriano is giving us writing tools number 2. First issue, he talked to us a little bit about how to get to your first draft of your script. So he's going to take that and do the second part, and you're going to be able to learn how to get to the next part of that. What's been amazing is that he's been doing like some really cool TED Talks and stuff like that, and about writing and how to create a story in a comic book format. And he recently started this really cool podcast kind of doing the same thing. So it's really cool to kind of see the insight that he's giving people. He also did a really cool thing on X when he would do give people a really cool writing insight at once a day. And he did that for a good while. So that was really cool to see. Then last but not least, we have an article from our friends over at allagesofgeek.com. You guys want to check out all kinds of all things geeky, from TTRPGs to anime to manga to comic books and everything in between. Head on over to All Ages of Geeks and check them out. You'll love it. It is a really cool sister team who created this website, and they have some really fun friends who go out and do some stuff for the community and also do some articles and stuff as well. We've partnered with them to give them the availability to offer some of our creators and client friends to put some of their stuff out there and talk to All Ages Geek a little bit about their work. So check that out. They wrote an article, how to write comedic spooky scenes that make you go and then ha ha. So that's a really cool. I try to do it really fun every single time, but that one's a really fun one. They partner with us and give us an article in each issue of Archetypes. So check that out. That's Archetypes. Again, we're gonna do this one's gonna be over 100 and 1,520 pages. This one's gonna be a chunky one too. So
Chunky boy.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, look, looks like we got a backer since we got
nice.
Yeah. So it's appreciate that.
Chipping away.
Doing good. So yeah, that's those are the campaigns, man. We also have a few. I want to talk to you guys a little bit about Benjamin W. Morse's campaign. I don't want to keep you too long though, because we got to get going. We're running on two.
I did actually forget to mention a couple of things about my campaign, but I know it's just the time crunch.
I know it's everything.
We got caught up.
I know we've been talking. It's been a crazy day, so we're like, let's get the heck out of our heads and talk a little bit about some fun stuff. I'm trying to type in Benjamin W. Morse and talk to you at the same time, which is really difficult because I am I'm probably dyslexic and got ADHD at the same time. Scarlet Twilight is his book. And it is a really fun thing. If you guys have been following him, he's got a really cool campaign that is running live right now called Scarlet Twilight Countdown to Cobalt Crisis. It's kind of like the old school uh, uh, Crisis on Infinite Earths, but he's using some public domain characters here, and he's throwing them in this thing and bringing them in thing. So this is called what he has here in this log line is this comic adventure expands the Scarlet Twilight world and builds the universe shattering Cobalt Crisis. So think of on Crisis on Infinite Earths and how they had that kind of fun stuff. He's going to do some really cool stuff here with this as well. It's already funded, or no, not already funded. Oh yeah, it's already funded.
Yeah, it was
And
funded
it's funded
immediately.
So already funded. Listen, there's only like 3 things to choose from. Actually, there's like 6 things to choose from, and the highest one is $18. And what you get in that one is you get a 24-page book and a 48-page book for $18. Holy crap, that's a deal. So if you guys want to check this one out, Countdown to Cobalt Crisis, it's funded. It's going to get into your hands already. And so make sure you guys check that one out.
Making that purchase.
And listen, $18 is very affordable. You put $18 down on this thing, you're going to get it. So check that one out. And we'll talk to Ben next week. He's got 25 days to go. We'll talk to him a little bit. We'll go a little bit more further into that in detail when he's here. But I wanted to make sure that you guys knew about that one as well. What else did you want to say about your book? And then we'll
one thing is we don't have any stretch goals. Stretch goals are usually once you go past funding, you unlock extra goodies to include in the package at certain increments of going beyond funding. Mm-hmm. We don't do that because everything after funding, we're splitting with all the contributors. We're sharing the money with them. It's creator-owned co-op model. Yeah. But what we are doing instead are milestone unlocks, where we started at 60 backers, and for every 10 backers, we're unlocking an additional free book that you get. So we've already unlocked Root and Branch by Pink Pitcher, which is another chunky book. It's fully illustrated, watercolor. It's traditionally illustrated in watercolors on paper. Like, it is gorgeous. We've unlocked Osrin Tales by Jeff Falsham. We've unlocked Underwars, and we're just about to unlock Luminous Ages. We're 1 backer away from unlocking Luminous Ages. And then, for every 10 backers after that, we're unlocking another book. So along with this fantastic anthology, you're already getting 3 other books. And I mean, 1 backer away from getting 4 more amazing art books. And we still have 17 days left in our campaign. So there's no telling how many other extra books we'll be unlocking for you. Mm-hmm. Please, at the very least, again, go to kickstarter.oneshipress.com and check out the video. If the video doesn't sell you, I don't know.
Definitely check that one out. Check it out. All right, man. That's been fantastic. We went like an hour and a half talking about that. But man, I am excited. I'm glad that we had time to go through everything.
Everything.
Because I feel like sometimes campaigns need people to kind of go through each and everything. Kind of it's like browsing before you buy. Window shopping. So I love that I'm gonna call that window shop. We'll window shop that thing, man.
It's like watching a cooking show before going to cook dinner.
Oh man, listen, my wife has been watching.
Sorry,
she's been watching cooking shows for like the last 2 days, dude. Awesome. And I've been hungry all day long.
All the time.
I'm like hungry. Oh. All right, man. It's been fantastic talking to you.
It's been awesome. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, it's please, guys, go check it out. Make sure you guys are backing side quests. How long do you guys have left on that one?
17 days.
17 days. You
Almost
guys
18. We just switched into the 17-day bracket. So
very, very cool. And then make sure you guys go check out geekcollective.net/archetypes 2. That's the number
Yeah,
2.
that's ending
Um,
soon, so jump on that, please.
just 3 days left. It's gonna be it's a little less than $100. It's gonna fund hopefully by the morning.
It's like what,
So
$80 from
yeah,
funding? I mean, come on.
yep. So check it out. There's all kinds of fun stuff there. Everybody is going to be getting a free tarot card. We even it's not only do you have this cool artwork on the front, we have some cool artwork on the back. Very cool. So check it out. We are once we hit that funding goal, everybody automatically gets a free mini art print that is the artwork. And we're going to take all of the dressing off of the Fangoria homage, and we're going to give you just the artwork, the gorgeous artwork of this really cool elf. I forget her name. I shouldn't forget
Nice.
her name because I've got all kinds of names in my head. But so check that one out as well. We are partnering with a really cool locally owned small business who has a large format printer. So we're going to use them for stickers. We're also going to use them for art prints as well. So and then we're actually going to contribute to the business, and because it's a family friend, and we're going to contribute to the business, and we're going to purchase some button making tools, and so that we can also make some buttons for everybody. And we're also going to work on pricing for stickers, because we're also going to fulfill stickers. We're going to work on pricing for stickers, bulk stickers, to actually offer for comic book creators and clients at a lower price. What we're doing is it's really great quality. We've already checked everything out. I personally checked and put my hands and my fingers on the paper that we are going to use for the stickers. And I know Sticker App, and the paper that we're using is very, very similar to the Sticker App paper, and it is really gorgeous, glossy sticker, very durable, waterproof. So we're definitely going to
Like
do some cool
vinyl
stuff.
or
I
actual
I
printed
believe
paper?
it's I gotta ask her because she's the one that has the paper. But I put my hands on it, and
Okay.
I put my hands on the sticker. I had a Sticker App sticker
Did you lick it?
and hers, and yeah, I put it on my face. I did it. I made sure that all my senses felt it.
Oh no, you froze. Oh, you're back.
Yeah, I'm
You
sorry.
froze in the middle of
I
whatever
froze like
that
this.
was. I'll never know.
I said I felt it. I rubbed it on my face. I made sure all my senses knew what it was, right? So but yes, so we're gonna do some really gorgeous stuff with that. And she also does t-shirts. We're gonna help we're gonna work with do making some t-shirts. We have some really cool t-shirt designs that we're gonna be creating on the side through our shops and stuff like that for her business, as well as comic book stuff. I'm probably gonna come up with more kitschy stuff like I did with this one, where it says the t-shirt I'm saying, it says it's not hoarding if it's comics. um I have
If
another one.
are you mixing up between a few different places, like who's providing what, or is it all through one place that you're like
For
connected?
the t-shirts, the stickers, the buttons is all going to be one
Okay.
place. We are not going to
Is it like exclusivity, like you guys have a deal with them to do
yes,
everything through them? Okay.
yes, we're going to exclusivity. We're also what we're going to be doing is we're contributing to their business as well.
Sure.
So it's a co-op, man. We love this co-op stuff, and
Absolutely.
we're doing this stuff co-op style, and we're helping
Has to be.
so we're helping them get their business back up and running, and together we're going to create and grow this stuff together. So but yeah, it's a fantastic small locally owned business where the workers is going to be not only is it going to be the person who owns the business, it's going to be me putting this stuff together too, guys. So I will make sure that the quality is there, that everything's gorgeous, and everything's on set, all set and ready to go. So
Don't worry, he won't be rubbing it on his face.
only if you ask me,
We
I'll
already talked about this. You got to pay extra for that.
well, no, we'll give a discount for that. No, just kidding.
I'll pay $2 less if you lick it.
This is a
Wait, what?
pre-licked
Who does
stamp.
that benefit?
This is a pre-licked stamp. All right, man. So that's all I wanted to say. I want to make sure you guys knew a little bit about that because we're going to be offering some really fun stuff to not only just clients, to everybody. So keep an eye out for that. Please let everybody know where they can find you on social media.
Me? I'm JL Draco everywhere. Find me on that blue sky, JL Draco. Find me on Facebook, JL Draco. Find me on Instagram, JL Draco. Find me on Discord, JL Draco. Find me on Twix if you want to, I guess. JL Draco. Also, Oneshi Press everywhere. ONESHIPRESS. And you can find Oneshi Press and JL Draco everywhere.
Fantastic. If you guys want to find us, you guys can go to Linktree / Geek Collective, and that's where all of our you can find everything there. You can find our emails, our social media, all that stuff. I am Joey Galvez 1984 all over the social media. The other one is Geek is at _ Geek Collective. I always mess that up. At _ Geek Collective everywhere for Geek Collective. Look us up on Kickstarter under my name, under Geek Collective. Look up, follow JL and Oneshi Press on Kickstarter, because that is one of the ways that you can know firsthand. You'll get emails, you get texts, you get messages, you'll get a lick stamp from both me and Oneshi Press, all of them, everybody, even the people that are contributing to every single anthology. No, just kidding. But you'll get some fun stuff from us, letting you know that we have stuff coming up.
We also have a link tree for JL Draco and for Oneshi Press as well. Can I give everyone a parting gift?
Please.
If you would like a free anthology from Oneshi Press right now, go to oneshipress.com/unexpected. It'll ask you what name you want us to refer to you as and what email you want us to send it to. We will send you that free anthology, and we'll continue to send you sample comics afterwards and other free stories, free comics. It'll be great.
Fantastic. I love it. All right, guys. Thank you so much, JL. Thank you for everybody.
Thank you, Joey. I appreciate it. I appreciate you.
Thanks everybody for hanging out with us and sticking with us extra 30 minutes. We'll see you guys next time. We'll hopefully have Ben here. He's out traveling, hanging out.
Yeah, I think Ben has to explain himself.
It's that time of year.
Explain yourself, Benjamin.
Cool people travel around this time of the year, man.
Does that mean I'm not a cool person?
I guess no, I'm just kidding. That's what I was insinuating. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. All right, guys.
People are on podcasts this time of year. I don't know what you're talking about.
All right. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you guys next time. Bye.